But what's up with the new findings of fiber optics in the Buga sphere? Are they really sensors or just reflections of the microscope's lights? Here's what we know. According to the engineers, they've captured 6 fiber optics in each microsphere using a supposed 8 LED microscope. But how do we verify that? After all, if you look up handheld digital microscopes, they can come in both 6 LED and 8 LED configurations. In fact, in one live view, we can clearly see the supposed 8 LED microscope capturing 8 light reflections on each microsphere, which makes sense. But what about those 6 light cases? The answer lies in the actual live footage. Crucially, the microscope itself. If you look closely, you'll notice this specific microscope has a visible brand name, unlike the one we saw earlier without any branding. When you search for a handheld digital microscope that features both a monitor and a branding label beneath it, only one model currently fits that description. And when you compare them side by side, it's almost a perfect match. Here's the kicker. This specific microscope has 6 LEDs, which aligns perfectly with the reflections we see on the big monitor. So, problem solved. These are just light reflections. But hold on, a few might argue that the reflections should move with the camera as it pans and tilts. But remember, we are looking through a microscope. A tiny nudge, even a millimeter, translates into a massive shift at this scale. So even a small movement would barely shift the reflections of the lights. Here's a 3D recreation showing that effect. Notice how the reflections barely move, even with noticeable camera movement. And let's be honest, if these were really sensors, wouldn't they be arranged more neatly rather than scattered randomly with inconsistent shapes and sizes? So until we see another live feed, one that actually shows an 8 LED microscope producing 6 reflections, or better yet, live footage, not an altered still image that clearly shows both 6 and 8 light configurations in the same frame, the optical fiber theory remains at best a case of smoke and mirrors.